Guardian. Guardian?
Eyesupsaf.
Eyes up, YouTube. We got another build for you guys today, and yeah, you saw that right. We're on our Hunter. We don't usually play Hunter, but every so often, Budgie brings out an ornament set that makes me want to hop on my Hunter. I have a soft spot for Arc when it comes to all three classes, whether it's from Warlock, Titan, or Hunter. I love Bolt Charge. I love the dopamine hit you get from seeing every ionic trace reach back to you, the sounds that it creates. It's just a really cool gameplay loop in general. We decided to go ahead and play Arc Hunter for this one with Moth Keepers. As you saw from the gameplay showcase, it does a lot. And it has great survivability because of Moth Keepers, so just keep that in mind. So let's go right into the build. So we are in the Arc Strider Hunter subclass. We are using Gathering Storm. I'm not the biggest fan of roaming supers, especially on Arc Hunter. So I do like Gathering Storm just for you being able to throw it and then go back to your gameplay loop. For our abilities here, we're running pretty standard ones. We have Gambler's Dodge, so every time we dodge, we can go ahead and get that melee energy back. And since we're running 100 melee stat, every time we do dodge near enemies, we are getting our melee back 100% of the time. And then we are running Combination Blow. I really love this melee over all the other ones, but it allows us to loop our Ascension multiple times and then loop our Combination Blow, so that way we can maintain the ×3 stack and do a bunch of damage, as you guys saw in the showcase. Then we're running Pulse Grenade. Grenade here doesn't really matter because your Moth Keepers is going to be taking over your grenade, so it doesn't matter which one you run. Next up for our aspects, we are running Ascension, so that way we can continuously amplify ourselves and take advantage of our fragments more easily. And then we're running Tempest Strike. It allows you to hit multiple targets, and when you defeat those jolted targets, you get stacks of Bolt Charge, which just allow for your overall ad clear ability, but also for DPS. Now, going into our fragments, we are running Spark of Resistance, so that way we can have that damage resistance since we're always going to be surrounded by enemies. We're also running Spark of Shock, so that way our Mothkeeper grenade can jolt targets. We're also running Spark of Ions, so defeating a jolted target or defeating a target with Bolt Charge creates ionic traces. We are also running Spark of Discharge, so Arc Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create an ionic trace, and collecting that ionic trace grants you a stack of Bolt Charge. And then lastly, we're using Spark of Frequency. The first part of this is really good as well because melee hits increase your equipped weapon's reload speed and stability for a short duration, but the main use of this is while we're amplified, the effects are increased and we gain increased stacks of Bolt Charge from all sources. So instead of getting 1 stack of Bolt Charge, we get 2 stacks of Bolt Charge instead. Going into the weapons here, it's really up to you. We're running Mint Retrograde just because it's probably one of the best anti-barrier options in the game. We're also running Unfall because I really wanted to have an arc weapon here to take advantage of the synergies from our fragments, but you can choose whatever arc weapon you want. Unfortunately, I didn't have an arc SMG or an arc auto rifle, or else I would have picked that over running double special with this, but Unfall works pretty well, surprisingly. Going into our heavy weapon here, we are using Finality's Augur for this particular showcase, but any weapon works. You can use Thunderlord if you want to. You can also use Anarchy if you just want to shoot some arc bolts on the floor and leave them. Probably the better option, to be honest, would be Anarchy here. You can also use something like Opaque Hourglass if you want to. It's completely up to you what kind of weapon setup you use here because most of the damage and most of everything that we're going to be doing is solely focused on our abilities. I don't have the perfect stats on my Hunter just yet because I'm still working on my armor pieces, but essentially you want to get 80 to 90 melee stat. You want to get as much as you can into your grenade stat, 100 on your class, and then put the rest into super. This will ensure that you have the best gameplay loop, but also your super regenerates much faster, and also your grenade will do more damage. But ultimately, that's kind of the stat distribution that you want to work with. For the armor set here, I highly suggest to go with the Smoke Jumper 2-piece set. I don't currently have Smoke Jumper 2-piece set available on my Hunter just yet, but when I do, that will take this place. Now, going into our armor itself, on our helmet, we are running Double Dynamo as well as a Radiant Light. Double Dynamo works really well here because we're going to be constantly spamming our class ability. Now, if you don't want to run Double Dynamo, you can also run Double Hands On because we are going to be getting a ton of kills with our melee as well. Going into our gauntlets here, we are running Double Firepower as well as 1 fastball. Going into our chest piece, we have 2 resist mods as well as an arc ammo generation. Going into our boots here, we're running 2 arc weapon surges because we're not really focusing too heavy on the weapon stat, so we want something to boost our unfall damage or whatever arc weapons you decide to choose. And we have 1 better already, that way every time we use our ascension we can suck up those orbs and gain health back. And then going into our cloak, we are running 1 powerful attraction as well as 2 bomber mods, so that way every time we use our class ability we're reducing our grenade cooldown. The grenade is your main source of survivability in this build outside of your melee. Of course, every time you do your melee you are going to get some health back, you are going to be able to heal up, and that's perfectly fine. Better Already is also going to help you with that every time you use your class ability, but Moth Keepers, being able to use that grenade, get the Void Overshield, and also jolt targets on the field is really, really good in a pinch. As you guys saw in the video, it did keep us alive quite a few times when we were close to death, so having the double bomber really makes sense here. Going into the artifact, we do have Threadling Proliferation as well as Pack Tactics. The only reason I'm running this is because I'm using Mint Retrograde. This is really interchangeable with anything else that you want though. The 2 main things that you do want to take, however, is Refresh Threads as well as Elemental Coalescence. So Elemental Coalescence allows you to create ionic traces by using other weapons as well. So if you are using something like Finality's Augur, every time Finality Augur defeats a target, it has a chance to create an elemental pickup matching your super, which is your ionic traces. Then Refresh Threads is also really good because when you get those ionic traces, it reduces your cooldowns on your least charge ability, which in this case is almost always going to be your grenade. And then the last 2 things we are running here is we're running Shield Crush as well as Elemental Overdrive. We're always going to have Amplified, so it allows our grenades to recharge faster and it allows our moths to do more damage. And we are using Elemental Overdrive, so every time we pick up an ionic trace we get additional damage for our unfall. And then if you decide to use something like Thunderlord or even Anarchy, it allows you to get increased damage on those as well. All in all, though, that is the build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I really do love Moth Keepers. Just so you guys know, every time you throw down that moth, because of our fragments as well as what Moth Keepers does, you're going to blind and jolt. So your one single grenade can take care of overloads as well as unstoppable champions in stunning them. But anyway, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed the build. If you did, leave it in the comment section below. Subscribe if you want to as well. And let me know if you guys would change anything or what you guys think about it. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.